It's time for another tale from the glass-guarded world, with Brian as Paxton the human cleric and fighter, Danielle as Athelflaed the halfling rogue and monk, Ashley as Terra Dane the human fighter, Chris as Esther Fortuna the half-elf rogue and bard, and me, Mike, as the DM. Our heroic adventurers are on their way back to talk to Mun the Immortal, but they've been sidetracked by an opportunity to investigate a ruined dwarven house. They encountered a banshee in a strange underground garden and defeated it, but afterward found that their rag golem companion, Lumpen, had been damaged by the banshee's lair, and it did not respond to healing spells. We now rejoin our heartbroken heroes.
No. Well, we're going back to Mun. Maybe Mun can bring him back.
Tara doesn't know what to say because she's really devastated.
A tear streams down my side. I didn't know him very long, and I go, "You wonderful tablecloth." No.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's not moving.
Paxton's hoping for the best. If Mun made him once, he can remake him, maybe with his memories.
Well, you was he protected in your armor from the sunlight thing?
I thought he was, but apparently not. I tried.
He doesn't look badly singed. It just looks a little singed.
Can I look up at the ring thing? Is it still glowing red?
It
What's
is still
happening
glowing
there?
red.
Is it like a lamp? Is
Yeah, like a heat lamp.
there an off switch?
You don't see one.
Can I break it?
You tried that already. You tried pulling it down.
When she says that, can I do an investigation check around the walls and around it to see if there's
Sure.
a hidden contraption? Again, +4.
You don't find anything. It looks to be a permanent fixture.
I'm gonna try something different.
Okay.
Perhaps Spare the Dying didn't work on Lumpen because he's a construct and not a living creature.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, I'm gonna try mending on him.
He springs to life.
Yay!
Yes!
Lumpen!
Yeah, Lumpen jumps up.
I give him a big old kiss.
What was that? What's-
Some scary lady almost killed us all.
Oh, wow. I was not around for a while. That was weird. Huh. She's gone?
Yes.
Okay.
We're so happy you're back.
Yeah.
I guess I'm happy to be back. I felt like I wasn't anything. Okay, well, what are we doing now?
Giving you a big group hug.
Oh,
We all
okay.
come around and hug the little guy.
Yay!
Tap it, I guess, because it's tiny.
It's tiny. It's 2 feet tall. Yeah. Don't squeeze me too hard. Well, Lumpen's back up. What are you gonna do now? You've had your hour rest.
Can I figure out anything that was supposed to be happening in this, room with the paintings? Do they have anything with an eagle pierced by an arrow? Any sort of-
No, there are no clues as to what this eagle pierced by an arrow or what the manacles or any of that means. There's nothing in here about that. It looks like this has been here for a long time. And it looks like whatever was in here that was organic matter, like paper or anything like that might have contained useful information, has long since decayed.
Can I call upon Dunstan's knowledge?
Sure. See if you know anything about this symbol.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Well, you have heard of this symbol before, or Dunstan mentioned it in passing once, just very briefly. It had something to do with the Cult of Foresight.
Guys, I think when I was back on the island, I heard from Dunstan, my mentor, that this had to do something with foresight.
The eagle?
Yeah.
Huh.
Did the broken manacles was that a symbol of foresight too? Because these two medallions are too physically similar for it to be a coincidence.
Yeah, they are almost identical. In fact, Paxton, as you're looking at them, you're sort of comparing them side by side since you're wearing yours, you notice some subtle little notches on one that might fit into indentations on the other.
Oh heck yeah! I put them together.
You put them together. All right,
Yeah.
not even hesitating. You just stick them together. All right, immediately it begins glowing.
Oh.
And a beam of light points brightly toward the east. and a very dim beam of light is pointing at you.
Like a dim light is pointing at me from the medallion, and a stronger light is pointing out of the medallion to the east.
That's right.
I put the medallion down on the ground and walk around and see if the light follows me.
The dim light follows you. The other light keeps pointing toward the east.
What's to the east?
The wall, the bubble.
The bubble. The eastern bubble.
Ugh.
Ah.
Okay, can the medallions be taken apart?
Yeah, you can easily pull them apart.
I pull them apart, and then I point to Athelflaed to put them together.
Okay. I put them together.
The dim light continues to point at Paxton, and another light points more brightly toward the east.
Okay, so it's not just pointing at the person who put them together. I wonder if the light would be brighter pointing to me if I wasn't missing part of my head, if you catch my drift.
Hmm.
Could be. So do you think this means we should head east?
Again?
Yeah, I feel like we did everything that we could while we were there.
Yeah, Epilema says, yeah, this is all real interesting, but I got other things to do. I'm not going back to the bubble again. I want to get back to, rest of my life.
I want to give the leather boots to Athelflaed.
Okay.
Because leather boot seems like a roguey thing.
Oh, cool.
You you want to see if these work for you or something?
Oh, thank you.
Aster, during that short rest, you're wearing that ring, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that is a ring of free action. That's what it's called. And
Okay.
as you spend time with it during your rest, because that's one thing you can do during a short rest, is attune to a magical item, you attune to that item, and you discover its abilities.
Oh,
Some magic items I will make you sort of spend a lot of time with to figure out what they are, but some of them that you can just play around with them a bit and you figure it out.
okay.
So that is a ring of free action.
Can I find that on the website? You have to have that?
If you've got access to the DMG, then you can look it up. It's a standard item. It makes you resistant to things that would keep you from moving, like paralysis or hold person. And it also means that difficult terrain doesn't slow you down.
Okay.
I thought you were going to tell him it gave him a free action every turn.
That would be really cool.
Wow.
That'd be too
Wow.
broken, I think.
Athelflaed, you put the boots on. I guess are you going to use them during your rest, or what's your
Sure.
plan?
Sure. What
All
are
right.
the properties?
Their powers are not revealed to you quite the same way that his are, but you pretty quickly find out that these make you quieter and make you better at sneaking
Oh,
around.
stealthy. All right.
Yeah, they make you stealthy.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
Boots of sneaking.
Do I find anything else out about Chainbreaker?
No, actually. No, you don't. You don't find anything else out about Chainbreaker. But you do, just swinging it around, realize it's a really nicely balanced war pick. It's an unusual, uncommon weapon. Dwarves are more likely to use it than anyone else. But it is a really nicely made weapon.
All right. Can we go upstairs and I want to go upstairs and investigate the first floor and see, knowing more about this maybe having some connection to the Cult of Foresight, if there's anything upstairs that reveals itself to be also interesting now.
Having the thought to use the Ettenfriend
That was
potion, though,
amazing.
that saved the day. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Good
This
job.
is the second time I've used that in a clutch.
Your get out of jail free card. Yeah, I mean, this entire encounter, this is all side quest stuff right here. You guys might not have seen any of this. This is all just sort of luck that that Epilema happened to spot this, and that you guys decided to look into it, and that Athelflaed happened to think of looking for Thieves' Cant. You didn't have to think of that, and she happened to find it. This is all sort of a lucky side thing. You guys might not have ever seen any of this content, right?
Or we could have died, but we didn't.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
We're winning D&D right now.
I'll win in the end. It'll be all right.
Aw.
No, just kidding. Just kidding. We
Winning
all
is
win.
telling your story.
We all win. All right. So you go back up to the first floor. Athelflaed's being even stealthy even when she's not trying to, now that she's got these boots on. If you want to look them up, they are boots of elven kind.
Are we still planning on giving those to Siegbert?
We could.
Not if Athelflaed wants them.
Unless he's really enamored with them and is willing to give us something in a pinch. I guess we
You
can-
should show him off and be like, what do you think of my new boots?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, he'll
Yeah.
be mad jelly.
Yeah, they give you advantage on stealth checks.
So I guess if we're going to be moving around, I'll take that medallion that was clicked together, and I'll break it apart into its two separate pieces, and keep those around my neck because I don't want to be walking around with a giant like lighthouse
Right.
beam of light shooting out of me.
Yeah.
That might trigger some attention that I don't want.
Good point. All right, so back on the first floor. Remember, this floor is filled with just refuse, bits of broken furniture, broken pottery, bits of unidentifiable metal. It's just a mess. It looks like a tornado came through here, and there you don't see any more than you saw your first time through.
No noises or anything like that?
No noises. It's
Nothing.
quiet.
All right.
Any other exits or passages?
No, there's the first floor that you're on. There's the second floor above you where you fought the dwarf undead. There's the floor below where you fought the undead elf. And then there was the outbuilding where you found the dead halfling. And that's all. That's all you see.
Stupid building.
Yeah, I think we've thoroughly ransacked this place of probably all valuable goods.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited to get to Mun's.
Hey,
Okay.
Paxton, let's go see if your light continues shining outside of the building.
Okay, and I click them together.
All right. And you step outside. And indeed, it continues to point to the east. In fact, you're pretty sure it's pointing in the direction of the bubble. The dimmer light points toward you.
All right, so it's nothing about that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What time of day is it?
Right now, it's getting close to evening. You guys walked part of the day, and then Epilema spotted this building and asked you guys to stop. And now you guys have explored for a while, and it's getting late.
Should we perhaps take a long rest in the building and then hurry out in the morning?
Epilema's up for that. Yeah, I could use a rest.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. It's not
Sure.
creepy anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say this is a safe place.
Except for, I mean, it's a little creepy. There's still corpses all over the place on the corpse in the basement, and there are dead dwarves in the second floor. But yeah, I mean, there are no undead, just regular dead.
Yeah, death is just a natural part of life.
Yeah.
It's all fine.
Aster.
Can I spend my spells using healing word on myself?
Sure.
Before we go to
Yeah,
sleep.
you can use up healing word on yourself before you go to sleep. You can also use any remaining hit dice you've got if you want to when you take your long rest, and you recover half of your hit dice upon a long rest. Anyone have anything else they want to do during this long rest?
If you had to make a guess about how much XP do you think that hag was worth?
Oh, let's see. A banshee is 1,100 experience points.
Split a bunch of ways, right?
Split a bunch of ways.
Yeah. Okay. We're not leveling up tonight.
Right. I mean, you got treasure and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So are you keeping watches?
Yeah, I'll do the first watch.
Athelflaed is first watch, followed by who's next?
Second.
I'll
Tara,
take third.
Aster, Epilema will go next, and I guess Paxton, you'll take last watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lumpin just stays up the whole time. Nothing exciting happens. So the next morning, you wake up. It's where are you sleeping? Are you sleeping in the basement where there's the warm, heat-generating light, or are you sleeping somewhere else in the building, or what's?
So cold outside. The light is probably the best spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of the building is extremely cold, just like it's cold outside. It's just not as windy inside the building.
Unless dead bodies.
Right. But in that basement area, it's a pretty comfortable place to rest. All right. Plus, there's only one entrance to worry about.
Hmm.
All right. Well, you have a surprisingly comfortable night's rest then, thanks to that warm light. You wake up refreshed in the morning, ready to get back on the road. Well, not on the road, on the trail. Oh, what are your current hit point totals now that you've all expended any remaining hit dice or healing word or whatever? I know Paxton's at full.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back to full.
I'm full.
All right, everyone's at full. Keep track of how many hit dice you also have in case it comes up.
You get half of them back.
I
right?
used
Right.
one
So
of
I
I
used
used
mine
two, so
mine
I get them
to get
back.
full.
So I got them back.
Yep. Epilema is going to expend some more hit dice overnight. And Lumpin is back to his 1 hit point.
I did not know that.
Rag golems are extremely frail. Now remember that you guys had made checks before, and you had succeeded in moving at normal speed through the mountains. So it's going to take you 4 days. You've already had 2 days of travel. You stopped for a big portion of today, so it's going to take you a couple more days. No, not a big portion of today. You stopped for a big portion of yesterday, so it's going to take a couple more days, full days of travel, to get to the fields, the foothills of the mountains and through the hills and into the fields. you've got a couple days of travel. Any incidents? Random encounters. So as you're walking, you're passing the nearest mountain. You are passing north of a tin mountain, and Epilema, who's again in the lead, suddenly signals for all of you to stop as you pass this mountain. And she points to the north, and you can see a large group of dwarven soldiers marching in formation, large numbers of them, to the west. And she says, "Something big's going down. The dwarves don't leave their mountains and like that, unless there's some action. And I'm missing out. So we'll have to be a little careful." All
I
right.
don't think we're involved, are we?
No, but something's happening.
Okay.
They're pulling up the levies, right? The emperor's calling up his feudal rights. He's pulling up the troops. He can call on his vassals to pull their troops up. So something big's going on.
Must be the river.
Yeah. What about the river?
Oh, nothing.
What are you? Hold on here. What are you not telling me?
Remember how we told you that the river's not breaking?
Yeah. Because it was a joke.
Yeah.
That was actually a joke. That it was a joke.
Wait, I'm confused.
Remember how we read The Rock, and The Rock talked about all the rivers breaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happening.
I mean, I didn't read it, but I remember you guys reading it.
Oh,
Yes.
of course, you did not read that, but we suspect that is happening.
Yeah, I know about the one river breaking. Wait. You're saying there's another river breaking?
Your river. Well,
that's bad.
What's it called? Scott's River?
The Hilt River, yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's not good. So, I'm guessing that what's going on is the Emperor's sending out the troops to take some stuff.
Take some stuff?
Yeah, to
From the Great Forest.
probably take control of some areas so that he can get some water. I'm guessing that's what he's doing.
By force?
Yeah. The best way to take things, right?
I guess.
If you're taking them, that's kind of the
Yeah, that's the
implication.
definition in there.
Yeah. So, yeah. I
Do you
wonder
think
if- I
that's
wonder
going to
if-
affect us taking a boat out of here?
I don't know. It depends on what, if they're doing something with the Navy or something. I suppose it's possible. They might conscript some boats or something,
I guess we need to move quickly.
You guys know what
Yeah.
conscription means, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys know the big words like me. You know what conscription means, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you read that in your dictionary that you've been carrying around?
No, definitely not.
Where'd you hear that word?
It's no the posters. No, not the posters. No, I heard them saying it. I heard them say the word conscription. Yeah, when they're going around drafting people,
That's like when a doctor gives you medicine, right? It's a
no,
conscription?
No,
No?
that's a different thing.
What would that be called?
That's a prescription.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, not that I don't know. I'm guessing. I think it's
Not
prescription.
that Epilema ever needs a doctor. Come on, let's go.
I don't go to the doctor. I'm just guessing. I don't need doctors. Yeah, but the sad thing is that with all these soldiers going off to fight, I'm stuck here with you guys. I could get in on that action.
Do you want to go fight with them?
I want to go fight. I don't know about with them per se.
You know, there's a lot of discipline when you're actually part of an army.
What's that?
There's a lot of discipline involved when you're actually part of an army.
What do you-
Taking orders.
What do you mean?
You charge when they say charge.
Well, unless I see a good opportunity, right?
Ah, I see. That'll get you in trouble.
What do you mean?
I don't think the army's kind of your place, man.
Wait, you mean I can't just go kill people if I'm in the army?
Nope.
No.
I don't think it works that way. Not the smartest person. Though.
A lot of marching and standing.
What? All right, I gotta think about this.
Yeah.
You might want to look up dishonorable discharge in your dictionary. That might happen.
All right, I'm not gonna write that down or anything. I'm just gonna take your word for it that that's bad. And all right, well, the point is, unless we want to get drafted or maybe caught and thrown in jail or something, we need to probably be a little bit careful about where we're walking and how we're visible. So let's be kind of stealthy.
Sure.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
So again, like before, I'm gonna have Athelflaed and Epilema make stealth checks for the group because they're both stealthy / guides sorts of people.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You have advantage on your check now.
Does
Ethelflaed.
Epolina have high stealth? Because I can
Um,
stealth.
She has decent stealth, but she's leading the group,
Oh,
sort of
gotcha,
as the guide. So I'm having her roll. She didn't do great. She did okay. How did Ethelflaed
I mean,
do?
with the boots and everything. I mean, I don't even have to roll advantage, but
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I can roll it again.
Just
It's like
immediately get a 20.
24. Yeah, 24.
24. All
Yeah.
right. So, Ethelflaed's very effective at guiding the group stealthily. She manages to stop Epilema before she leads you out into the open a few times, and which would expose you to some passing groups of dwarves. But you manage to make your way through the mountains and into the foothills, and then down to the plain. After a couple days, you can see these abandoned houses, farmhouses, in these empty fields. And then in the distance, you can see the edge of corn, right at the edge of these fields. After a few more days, you arrive at the empty fields on the 3rd of 8th month.
Should we be marking down our rations?
You used up 4 days of rations getting through the hills and mountains. We already did that last time. I already told you guys to mark them off last time, though.
Mm-hmm.
Getting across these fields will take you 4 days, so that'll be another 4 days of rations. There's not a lot to worry about hiding from in these fields. It's relatively easy. Just find like a gully or a short wall and just sort of move along behind it. So it's easy to keep away from moving troops while you're in these fields. So after 4 more days, so mark off those 4 days of rations moving through the fields, you get to the road south of Drongaldoon. And Epilema says, "All right, so here we are, passed through the wheat, and we're at the road. You can see on the other side of the road is more wheat. But if we pass through that, you'll see that we would eventually get to the seashore, right? If we keep going west.
Yeah.
And then we could head north up to the port of Drongaldoon if you want to take a boat. Or we could try to get back into Drongaldoon if you want to talk to your weird friend."
Do we think we could make it to Sigbert without running into Captain Bronco?
I don't know if there's, well, Epilema, is there a way for us to get into the city unseen?
I don't know of one. I bet there is one. I don't know of one. Can any of you fly?
No,
Dig?
not very well.
We dig at a normal person, right?
I don't know anything other than that. Over or under or through, those are the only options I know about. I like through.
Let's just go to the port.
Well, I have this
Yeah.
pick. We can just open the wall up. I would say let's go to the port.
Epilema considers that option for a moment and then says, "All right, the port, that's fine." She suggests just continuing to march west to the shore and then just straight up the coast to the port. All right? Or you could walk up to the city and follow the walls along. It actually would be faster to go up the road if you're in a hurry.
But people watch the walls and would see us?
It's more likely you'll get spotted.
Yeah, let's not do that part.
Okay. So you walk over to the shore. It takes about another day once you get to the road. It takes about another day to get to the shore. As you're walking, you can see off to the south there's a small forest of trees, and it looks relatively undisturbed. And Epilema tells you that that's one of the Emperor's forests, and no one's allowed to hunt or do anything in there. It's supposed to be left untouched. You can't hear the ocean or anything, but as you get closer after another day, you arrive at the seashore, and you can hear the seagulls flying around, and you can hear the water gently moving around. There are no tides or really waves to speak of, just gentle lapping, more like a lake. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 days to reach the road, and then on the 7th of 8th month, you reach the sea.
Beach day.
Mm-hmm.
There's really not even much of a beach. It's kind of there's some clay by the shore, and there's a few sandy spots, but it's not very luxurious. Feels just like the edge of a lake. And you head north. So she marches you guys up the coast, and you can see in the distance to the north ahead of you, you can see the port area. So stretching down from the city of Drongaldoon, you can see some very long walls that just go straight from the city to the coast. And you can see ships bobbing around in the water close to the shore. And there's a port here. There's a protected harbor. The wall sort of splits north and south to protect part of the harbor, but the harbor seemed to have grown or spread beyond the protected area. So now there are ships all up and down this coast here, coming and going from the docks, loading ships with cargo. And as you get closer, Epilema points out, so if anybody's loading soldiers onto ships, or if the Navy's doing anything, they're gonna be around here, right? So they may not be looking for us. They may be. I don't know. We're pretty distinctive, right? 2 halflings, a weird elf, and 2 humans.
Fashionable elf.
Right.
Yep.
So if you guys got any, disguises or anything,
I have robes of hiding in plain sight.
yeah, you can make yourself look like someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, I can disguise self.
Yeah, so both of you guys can disguise yourself. Athelflaed's a little bit more limited. She can only make yourself a little bit bigger, right? But Aster, you could conceivably disguise yourself as a variety of things.
I have a disguise kit that I'm proficient with.
Oh, you could disguise several people.
Yeah. Can I do that?
Yeah,
We
sure.
could do that.
What's your plan?
And we're like at this city now. Let's.
You're within view of the harbor. You're not in the city. You're within view of the harbor. You're south of it, looking north toward it.
We could try to make ourselves look more commonery,
Yeah.
just like
We do have
farmers.
fancy plate armor and stuff.
Yeah, you guys you're pretty well equipped at this point.
Uh,
Suggestions. What would you like to look like?
Tara starts like braiding her hair to put a wig on or something. Like,
All right.
I need like a big thing of canvas that I can just make as a poncho to fit over all over my armor.
All right.
And then I'll
you would
just
look like a really bulky guy.
yeah. I'm just big boned.
A big
And
bulky guy that
clanky.
clinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paxton's not very smart.
All right. So go ahead and roll a disguise toolkit proficiency check.
Okay, so that will be my proficiency bonus plus my dexterity.
Probably.
do?
I'm not sure. Let's see. Disguise kit.
Does it include like wigs or something, or is it just like makeup?
Yeah, it's pouches of cosmetic, hair dye, and small props that you create disguises that change your physical appearance. Proficiency with this kit lets you add your proficiency bonus, which I am proficient with.
Yeah, use intelligence.
Okay. 7.
7. All right. You look like slightly weirder versions of your normal selves. Slightly more exaggerated, less attractive versions.
I make them look like those paintings that are all messed up.
I mean, it wasn't a critical failure, but it was a pretty low check. So at a distance, someone might not recognize you.
I tried to look older, but instead I look like I'm melting or something.
Now, if you use disguise self, that is basically an automatically successful disguise check.
Yeah, that I'm going to do on myself.
Okay.
But,
All right. Well, what's your disguise?
Ooh. Hold on. They look a little bit exaggerated, right?
Right.
Could we act like we're some kind of circus performance
Sure.
or something? I'm going to put on my jester outfit
Okay.
that I have. And then I'm going to make myself look like a clown.
Like a clown? Okay. All right. Aster looks like a clown. And Athelflaed, what's your plan for your disguise?
Look like it.
I mean, with your disguise self spell,
Yeah, because
you can't make yourself tall. You can't make yourself look like a human, right?
so it'd probably
But
be
you
like
could-
a dwarf, right?
You could look like a dwarf or a gnome or
A
a
dwarf
goblin.
and strongman.
Yeah, you could look like a dwarf or a gnome or a goblin or, yeah, something like that.
Dwarven strongman. There
All right,
we go.
you make yourself look like a dwarven strongman. All right, so,
I still have the same voice though.
right,
So,
okay. All right. Paxton and Tara just look like they have odd choices of makeup. And
They're part of the freak show.
in any
That's what we're
case,
going to call it.
it's not a group that won't draw attention to itself, but you don't look quite like your normal selves. Epilema takes off her feather headdress, her eagle feather headdress, and she says, I'm just gonna put on a bit more clothes, and you don't need to put any makeup on me. I'm good.
Okay.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
Maybe just something on your nose. Put a little
What's
red
wrong
nose.
with my nose?
No, it's just a little red
You
nose.
don't like my nose, huh?
You look fabulous, dear.
That's right, but not too fabulous. I'm not, I'm a sissy or anything. All right, so I think we're good. This'll work.
All right, we are looking for a boat that looks like it is going to be headed to the Free Cities. We need passage.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we could go to the Free Cities, we could go to the Keepers, or we could go to Arrival, because really we're trying to get to Mun, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Mun isn't in the Free Cities, right?
Correct. Mun is in the magistracy. He is,
Whoops.
It's in that place I can't pronounce.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't either. I just try.
The magistracy is north of the Free Cities, and he is in the town of Munville, north of Zauberfeld.
All right.
Now, there are ports in the Free Cities that you could land at. You know that Sigbert has some shops there, but you may not remember which ones.
He has one in Zauberfeld.
Yep.
Could go there. Yeah.
Yep.
Shop my boots.
But if we were in Zauberfeld, we can just go.
You could just
north.
walk 2 days to
Yeah.
Mun.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so you walk up to the ports, and as Epilema had suggested, there are in fact soldiers all over the place. People coming and going, loading ships with cargo. There are lots of soldiers around. You gather that some of these ships have in fact been conscripted. Some of the ships have been seized for naval purposes. And you can in fact see that there are regular Imperial military ships here with these large paddle wheels in the back, belching smoke out the top of their smokestacks. There are regular sailing ships. There are oared ships. Whenever you ask around, well, first of all, let's see if anybody takes any notice of you. Nope, no one is the least bit interested in this weird group here. In fact, soldiers look like they're trying to conscript people. There are people saying, sign up for the Navy, sign up for the Navy, get regular pay, a regular meal, regular advertisements for joining up. But they are not the least bit interested in an apparent circus troupe.
Good, good.
When you try to find someone willing to take you, you find that it is in fact difficult to find a ship that has not already been claimed by the military. In fact, the only ship that looks like it is currently not claimed is a somewhat weird-looking mishmash ship. It looks like it's built out of some pieces of different ships, all sort of shoved together, and there's a man on the dock arguing with some soldiers rather loudly.
What's the argument about?
Well, apparently the soldiers are trying to draft this ship, and this man, the captain, is saying,
No, we're not. This ship not be fit for military use. It's just we do jellyfish farming. That's all we do. It's just a jellyfish ship.
Do we recognize this captain?
in fact, he does look familiar.
Is it Mr. Lerner?
He has a kind of scruffy-looking beard, and he's got some men standing around him. He's got a really big guy and some smaller guys, and they're all looking kind of nervous.
Do any of them look like they might be named Sharky?
Yeah, Sharky is standing there.
I remember these people when I watched the episode.
And there's and you can see the man with the scruffy beard. Yeah, and the soldier on the lead soldier, the captain, not the captain, not Captain Bronco, but a captain is standing here, and he says, "You will give us the ship, and you will serve in the Imperial Navy, or you will be in the jail." And he says,
No, you don't understand, lad. It's not like that. The ship can't do that sort of thing. It's just not built for it. It's all good. All it's good for is jellyfish farming. That's all we do now.
So Epilema, you don't necessarily want to leave the Iron Empire. You want to stay here, right? You're not going with us.
I don't know. What are you offering?
I look to the other members of the group.
Let's see. You got any gold? You offering to pay me gold, or I like adventure and action and such, right? Chopping things and yeah.
We're just making sure you don't want to leave with us.
You gotta make it worth my while if I am.
I think Epilema was useful to guide us to the Eastern Wall, but I think we're pretty good at this point. We don't need another person, taking our experience points and whatnot.
All right, so that's all then. You don't need anything else. We're good.
Tell you what. I will give you 5 gold pieces if you can make a distraction that will get this captain's attention. Like, go up to the captain and tap on his shoulder and tell him about something happening somewhere else. Whatever it takes to get that captain to leave those pirates alone.
I got an idea.
All right? So I'm thinking that Epilema can distract this captain. We can load everyone on the ship and get out of the port. And since we saved him, they owe us to take us straight to the magistracy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
and
that.
we can also threaten them if they don't, because apparently we kick their butts.
Yeah,
we
they might be
won't
afraid
do
of
that,
us.
But,
And you're super persuasive, right? You can just persuade them since we saved your ship from being conscripted. You owe it to us to take us where we want to go since we saved you.
yeah, we're hecka persuasive.
Yeah.
How fast is this ship, do you think?
It looks like a terrible ship, so
Yeah.
The worst available.
yeah. If it floats, we're lucky.
Can we say goodbye to Epilema? Then?
But before I give Epilema the gold coin, I shake her hand and say, thank you so much for the work that you've done for us. You've done a really great job. You saved us a couple of times, especially with that banshee. And I hold out my hand for her to shake it.
She grabs your hand and shakes it firmly.
I pull her in and give her a big hug.
Make an opposed strength check.
12.
She resists and says, and pats you on the back and says, "No, you're a real nice guy. I gotta go now. You're real nice. You're a good kid.
Epilema.
Yeah, weirdo, what's up?
I'm gonna miss you, you savage animal.
That's the nicest thing you said to me.
You're welcome, Epilema.
All right, weirdo, you stay weird.
I will.
Epilema,
Yeah,
it was fun being an Enten with you.
that was kind of fun, you know. You sure you don't got any more of those?
I think I need it.
I mean, I could pay you for one. I really like that.
I'm sorry, I can't. It's too clutch.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. It's pretty amazing.
Quite the ace up one sleeve.
Yeah. All right. Well, you take care, and hey, Shorty,
Hey,
stay short.
okay.
I mean, you're no shorter than me, but I mean, you know,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
just lift some weights or something,
okay.
you know?
Well, bye.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go cause some trouble. This will be fun.
All right, I hand her the gold coins and I say, go crazy, kid.
Don't
right.
get arrested.
She walks straight up to the captain, and she points at you guys. And she says,
Hey, you remember hearing about that big fight in the city the other day?
the captain says, "Little one, I am talking to the adults here. You can go away." And Epilema says,
What'd you say?
and he says, I am busy talking to the adults. You should run along. Go mind your own business.
And she says, you might want to phrase that differently. I don't take kindly to that kind of talk.
And the captain turns around, and you notice the sailors sort of backing away onto their ship. And the captain says, "You will leave my sight now, or there will be trouble." And
She says, oh yeah, there's gonna be trouble, all right.
Well, this isn't going well.
This is gonna be fun. Hey, boys, I think you might have a new captain in a moment here. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna take care of this guy, and then you can follow me around. What do you say?
and they all the soldiers are giggling at this. What are you guys doing?
We are
Getting on the
walking
ship.
around, and getting on the ship.
Yeah.
All right, you're walking around, getting on the ship.
But just to get it straight, Epilema tried to betray us and then got distracted.
Yeah, she did. I wrote it down.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, just so we're all on the same page.
or something. You
Yeah.
never actually got to say anything, but yeah.
If we ever see her again, she got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna sneak around. You're not gonna try to break up anything, right? Okay.
No.
So, all right. Well, a fight breaks out. You're sort of walking around these soldiers and getting on the boat. Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
All right. Well, the captain says,
Yar, what are you doing?
Hey,
What?
we need to get out of here
Hey,
with y'all.
it's
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Hey.
I remember you. Yeah.
and you can see this big guy, this big sharky. He says,
What are you doing on this ship? Get off our ship.
Shut up, Sharky.
Captain, I don't like him.
Captain says,
Tell you what, you want passage on my ship?
Yep.
All right, then. How about, well, we'll discuss it later. Let's leave.
Yeah, let's
right
go.
now, let's go. Cast
Agreed.
off. Anchors away.
Is the ship leaving now?
All anchor.
yeah, and the ship starts to pull away.
I'm gonna have Epilema soil herself.
Okay. She doesn't seem to notice, but you do notice that she is.
Her clothes are soiled.
You notice that she is beating the crap out of this captain, and the men seem to be cheering her on.
That's her saying, "My plan wasn't a distraction."
All right.
Oh boy. Right as we get out of range of my cantrips, I wanna give Epilema guidance and like help her fight
Okay.
as
right.
we're pulling away.
You cast guidance on her. Yeah, she increases the level of whipping that she is applying to the captain of these guards. And some of the guards are actually pointing at the ship and shouting.
Hey, they're getting away. They're pulling out. Captain.
And the captain is not paying attention. And some of them run over towards some of the other ships.
Uh-oh.
But the captain of your ship, Captain Shortbeard, as you may know him, or Captain Lerner, he orders his crew to pick up speed as quickly as possible. And they put out their sails, and fortunately, if you're sailing toward the middle of the world, the wind is always blowing in that direction. So it's pretty easy to go that way. So that's the current direction you're moving. And, but you do see that there are people running around in the docks. And they're looking very busy and animated. All right. So the captain says,
So, Vasti, the landlubbers and all that stuff, right? So, what are you doing on my boat?
Drongaldoon doesn't like us very much.
Oh, yeah,
you
me
were
neither.
about to get conscripted.
Yeah, that's why I'm heading out. So, I wasn't lying when I told them this is a jellyfishing boat now. Not real fast, and not really militarily capable, and we're not pirates. So, this could
What do
be
you do
interesting.
with jellyfish?
Oh well, you farm them, and some of them you can squeeze the different colors out of, and you can use them for dyes. They're worth a lot in different places. Yeah.
It's
She
better
doesn't-
than a carnival.
He doesn't know who me or
No,
Apple-
he doesn't
or-
know-
or
He knows who
Athelflaed.
I am.
he knows who Athelflaed
Aren't
is.
you
He
a
doesn't know
dwarfling?
who Aster is.
Yeah, I was in the fight.
No, weren't you a dwarf though? Aren't you a dwarf right now?
Oh yeah, I'm still in
Oh yeah, she appears to
disguise.
be a dwarf. Yeah, so he only recognizes Terra and Paxton, and he thinks they look a little weird, but he
So
doesn't recognize.
Athelflaed knows them, but they don't know Athelflaed.
That's right. Yeah,
Or they know Athelflaed, but they don't know that she's Athelflaed.
right.
How can we spin that to our advantage?
Well, the
Yeah.
spell's gonna wear off at some point. but-
Yeah, isn't it like an hour?
It's an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you headed?
We're heading to the Magistracy.
All right. You want to go to Luton Haven then?
Can you
There's some
take us
good fishing around
specifically
there.
to Munville?
Munville is inland. This is a boat.
point.
Zauberfeld?
Zauberfeld is also inland.
What's the closest you can get us to Zauberfeld and Munville?
Luton Haven.
All right, that sounds great.
But we'll probably pass by Arrival if that's all right.
That's fine too.
It's
Okay.
good to see home once in a while.
All right. We don't have to stop there. Once we pass Arrival and start heading west, we'll have to start rowing.
Okay.
Works for me.
Right. That'll be, I don't know. I haven't had passengers for a while. 20 gold, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we just saved you from being conscripted. I think this is you
But
paying
I
us
wasn't
back.
going that way. I was gonna go somewhere else. You know.
We caused that distraction though.
Yeah.
10 gold.
No. No gold.
But I'm gonna have to. I mean, if you're passengers, I'm gonna have to give you a place to sleep and
I'll give her 10
food.
gold.
10 gold. All right, that'll cover your expenses, right? That seems fair.
Nah, fair.
All right, and then
We got 500 gold from Mun.
That's true.
We'll use 10 of it.
All right, so the ship's heading southwest toward Arrival. The wind is continuing to blow steadily toward the middle of the world, like it usually does. And you, of course, lose sight of what's going on in the docks. But by afternoon, the captain points out that there are, in fact, several ships approaching from the northeast, and they look like military ships. And they look like they're making a lot of steam. They're moving pretty quickly toward you.
you guys aren't wanted for anything, are you? I mean, obviously they want our ship, but
Define wanted.
I mean, I don't know how landlubbers work. It's not my thing. But is there a reason why they'd be so much after you and my ship? Maybe they're just mad at me for not enlisting.
Yeah, that's
you know,
probably it.
they do have really bad tempers, but it might not be good if they saw us.
So maybe the best thing would, since once we get past arrival, we'd have to row, and then they're really going to catch up with us. We think that we could make it to arrival before those ships catch us?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Depends how fast they are, you know. I'm not,
And Sharky speaks up and says,
Captain, we're only gonna beat them if the wind keeps up like this. If it gets slower, then, they're gonna catch up. They got constant speed.
Let's just try to make it to arrival, and if we can get to arrival, we can just hop off the ship and blend in with the city, because we're not wanted there. And then maybe we can use some point in the city for Sigbert to get back to Zauberfeld or Munville.
assuming Sigbert has a shop in Arrival.
We can find protection in arrival. I mean, they can't try and arrest us in my city.
No, I mean, they would have no jurisdiction there. In fact, military ships moving that direction would be assumed to be hostile.
If we can get within range of arrival, would there be any arrival ships that would maybe protect us?
Probably.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
All right.
If we need to row with the wind, we can also do that.
Yes.
Well, the captain says,
Thank you for volunteering, lass, but the ship moving the speed it is, I'm afraid that the oars would be more likely to snap than help us get faster. But if things slow down, that might be useful.
Yeah.
Okay.
so you continue to watch the ships behind you, and they are, in fact, getting closer. Even with your current pretty rapid pace, they are slowly getting closer.
What are they using?
You're not sure what fuel they're using, but they're burning something and turning a big paddle wheel in the back. And, all right, so through the day, the distance stays roughly the same. Is there anything you guys want to do to either speed up your ship or slow down their ships or anything like that? Is there anything you have in mind?
Hey, Lumpin, you got any, like, bells that can reach them and, you know, little
Not
fire
at this range.
or...
I'm too far away.
Ah,
What was the range? What was the range?
You're probably a couple miles away at this point.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't know how to speed up a ship.
If anyone had a gust of wind spell, that would work. Or if anyone could summon a water elemental to attack their ships. Or if someone could cast levitate on something to stay in their way, that wouldn't work. I don't know.
I can make puffs of smoke.
You can make the captain soil himself. You're really good at that. It's about the main thing I've seen Aster do at this point.
I can persuade
greatest
the ship to go
spell
slower. That's it.
Oh, I can use the Guitar of the Bazaar and grant something to the captain and the ship people to give
Oh,
them.
okay. You want to try to give them an advantage or a bonus on a sailing check?
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna use the guitar to...
And I will give him guidance in doing this.
Oh,
All right.
wow.
Okay, he needs it.
Okay.
It's me helping Aster help the captain.
Yeah.
Bravery.
Conga line of buffs.
Okay, so can I do heroism on them?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
And so I need to do my performance check. And you said guidance?
Yes, so add 1d4.
Ooh, nice. Thank you. Oh, that wasn't that bad. 20 plus 24.
You succeed your performance check, and you cast Heroism. What does Heroism do?
It's they're not afraid, so they won't be afraid of the oncoming ships. They're immune to being frightened and gain temporary hit points, all of that stuff.
All right, well, they don't seem afraid, but they're not going any faster.
So since the Iron Empire doesn't have any jurisdiction in Arrival, once we get there, we could just say that Terra, who is a noble, chartered that ship from the Iron Empire, and then it's her word versus theirs, and they're probably going to believe her since she's a noble of Arrival.
Oh,
In a way, I did charter that ship.
The next day, the 8th of 8th month, you continue to be pursued. The captain of your ship is not doing real well on his sailing check. Neither is their captain. So the distance maintains the same this day.
Can I give them guidance?
You could, sure. You get 1d4?
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's still not great. As you spent time on this ship, you realize this ship is cobbled together out of pieces of other ships that have been torn apart to make wagons for a traveling circus, and then it's reassembled back into a ship again, and that it is simply not a well-built ship at this point.
It's not taking on water or anything.
It's not taking on water, and it's remarkable that it's moving at all. In fact, it's moving kind of fast considering the circumstances, but they're not able to get it go any faster than normal. That's the second day.
Hey, while we're hanging out on the ship, do they really seem to be a jellyfishing ship, or have we found?
In fact, yes, they have a hold full of jellyfish and even some machinery for squeezing them for different colors of dye.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. They have this operation for farming jellyfish, and that some of them actually seem pretty into it. Some of them are clearly not happy with it and wish to return to the good old days of being pirates.
Do any of them miss being at carnies?
No one misses being carnies.
Okay.
Apparently, they also tried owlbear ranching before becoming jellyfish farmers.
We asked them
Owlbear.
everything they know about owlbear farming.
It didn't go well for them, but they'll tell you what they learned.
Do they have any remaining owl
They
bears?
have no owlbears. Most of them never want to see an owlbear again. And sometimes they'll mention, "Oh, poor Bingle. Poor old Bingle." They'll all take their hats off, put it over their hearts, and bow their heads. Poor Bingle got eaten by that owlbear. It was a tragedy.
What do owl bears like if we were to try to befriend one?
Pirate?
Slackjaw, who's a woman with a crossbow, she says,
Well, I found that they tended to they liked people. They liked eating people. Very popular dish with them. Really anything that moves, meat of any kind. Goblins, they'll eat goblins. They'll eat cows and chickens, and not real fond of plants. Yeah, they'll eat just about anything.
Are they
If-
trainable?
You can train them to kill things. Yeah. We didn't have a lot of success. It's best to get rid of them while they're young.
Where did you acquire your owlbears from?
We went to the city of One, and we bought some from some merchants there, and we regret it.
What's a good deal for an owlbear pup?
Oh, I don't remember now. I suppose they may have cost a few hundred gold each.
Okay. These guys don't seem like they were successful owlbear ranchers.
No,
so
they
I
were
don't-
not
I don't-
successful.
I don't care what they have to
They
say.
must have terrible animal handling.
Yeah, not like us. We're
Yeah,
gonna do so much better than them.
we're gonna be great.
There are a bunch of different crew. I guess you get to know them after a while. There's Sharky, the big guy. He still doesn't like you guys. You shrunk him. Well, Finn did anyway. There's a guy
Feelings mutual.
Yeah. There's One Ear, who has one ear. There's Slackjaw, the woman with the crossbow. They tell you about Blunder Burton, who's kind of clumsy. He's the bosun. There's Nand, the ship's surgeon. And there's Matilda the Hammer, who's a large orc. She can pull up the anchor all by herself. You get to know the crew. There's more people too, but you get to know the crew as the days go by. But they're still trying to keep away from these ships. And on the third day, they finally manage to pull away, and the Imperial ships turn around and go back.
Do they feel any sort of way about suddenly having a dwarf turned into a halfling?
Oh yeah, they are a little confused by that, by Athelflaed and Aster suddenly
Oh, yeah.
changing into different people, and
Not a clown anymore.
and Sharky is definitely keeping his distance from Athelflaed, and they're a little weirded out, but mostly they just leave you guys alone. Only the captain's really spending much time talking to you.
I want to talk to Nan, the surgeon. Yeah, I want to see if there's anything I can learn from them.
Sure, you can spend some time studying some medicine stuff. She's a real, she's got a real motherly personality, and she knows what she's doing. She has apparently solved all sorts of horrible injuries, and now she's an expert in how to get rid of the pain from handling jellyfish.
Okay.
So she'll tell you some tricks there for how to reduce the pain from exposure to jellyfish toxin. She'll help you with some medicine skills.
Does she have any medical tools or anything that she might be willing to trade?
She's got a medical kit.
Medical kit.
You know, what's it called? A healing kit.
Those are pretty easy to find, though, right?
Yeah.
Never mind.
She doesn't really have much in the way of magical healing. She has a couple healing potions, but that's it.
Don't I have that book that's like healing herbs from the
Yep.
Iron Cities? I offer to let her read that while we're on the ship.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she'll be glad to read it, and she'll tell you a little bit about the things that she's learned.
Hey, Athelflaed, how are you?
No, I'm here. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Been sitting on this boat for a few days.
Oh, are you
And,
getting queasy?
No, just thinking about the Iron Empire. I had never killed so many soldiers before. It's not something.
Feels great, doesn't it?
No,
I mean, yeah.
it doesn't. The reason I wanted to talk to you, was because out of everyone, I think I've known you the most, and I just want some advice. Sometimes I have nightmares when I sleep, and I'm usually super cheery, but the nightmares are not nice. And
Oh,
how do you deal with the faces of the soldiers you've killed or the people that have died?
I try not to think, and that seems to do well for me. But yeah, sorry you're having nightmares.
Well, thank you, Athelflaed. You're as wise as the most elderly man I know.
Her charisma's like,
I appreciate you listening to me, though.
Oh, any time, of course. Anytime you need advice or insight or,
It's the one to go to.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're
And
welcome.
then I walk away.
Lumpin follows you. And Lumpin says, hey, he pulls on your pant leg.
Oh, wonderful handkerchief.
Yeah, I'm more of a rag. I guess a handkerchief's a rag. Yeah, that's fine. So, hey, I heard you talking. Yeah, I killed some of those undead, and that feels kind of weird. So, I imagine it must be even weirder to kill someone who's actually alive. Does it feel real bad?
It feels horrible. It doesn't feel good. It feels, well, I take every day with stride, my good friend. But,
Yeah, you seem real unflappable.
what?
You're unflappable. You're not easily disturbed. You're resistant to being disturbed by the events around you, it seemed to me.
Yes, I put a strong front. I'm a thief. I enjoy thieving. I enjoy stealing. But I don't enjoy killing people. And I felt a lot of pressure, and I felt like I had no choice. And
Yeah,
I know I'm going to have to do this again at some point.
you don't have to.
Maybe. I hope not. Maybe I can just charm my way out of a fight.
Yeah. Or just
You-
don't do that sort of thing.
Well, what do you do? How do you feel?
I've only had to destroy those undead, and they weren't really alive. But I don't know if I'd be okay with killing a person. I guess it would depend on what they were doing. Like if they were trying to kill a friend of mine.
Yes.
But Paxton says it's important to fight to take care of the people you love.
You are actually very wise. You know what? What is your name?
I'm Lumpin.
Lumpin. I've been calling you Handkerchief this whole time.
That's okay.
I will remember that, Lumpin. I appreciate how
Okay.
you talk to me. I feel a lot better, actually. You weirdly are very wise.
I don't know. I'm just a little rag. But okay. Hey, you want to play some music for me?
Sure.
All right, I like the music.
And then I want to play.
Let's be friends.
Yeah, I would like that.
Okay.
So glad that Lumpin is the spiritual leader of Aster.
Lumpin has the richest character development of
I
any of the people in
know.
the story.
The captain wants to know, do you want to land in a rifle or you just want to skip by it?
you think landing?
If we think we're no longer being pursued, I feel like we'd be okay to continue, but it's up to you guys. If
Yeah.
anyone's feeling seasick,
I think
Are we
if
feeling seasick, or do we have to do checks?
Yeah, go ahead and make a constitution check. I'm not going to make Tara or Aster check because they've been on the sea before.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's 16.
Yeah, you're fine.
13.
You're fine. You're not seasick.
I would say if we could stay on the ship, that would stretch the 10 gold we've already paid a little bit further.
There you go.
And I am a cheap cleric / fighter, above all else.
So you pass by a rival. You can actually see it from your boat, and two of you have been there before. Aster and Tara have been there they spent a lot of their lives there. But Athelflaed and Paxton have not ever been to a rival. And you can see there are these incredibly well-built stone docks out of the port, and the port is just all the way around the city. The whole city is basically a port, all the whole way around. And you can see these really tall buildings. Must be 5 or 6 stories tall, inland from the shore, and there are even towers taller than that. And above all of the buildings are these weird nets or tarps. On these tall stone pillars. They're these tall stone pillars with tarps spread between them. And they all just are over the city. And of course, Aster and Terra, you're used to these. They're everywhere, right? They've been there since the city was created. But it's sort of traditional to keep them up. But there are these tarps all over the city that make just a giant cover over the entire city.
Is that for catching rainwater or something?
I believe it's where we all woke up.
Yeah.
Well, our ancestors woke up.
Right. When the first people woke up, they woke up in these tarps. And they were there when they got there. And they've been maintained ever since.
Was the city beneath the tarp built, or did our ancestors build those?
There was no city.
Hmm.
Do we have a number in arrival?
A number city?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It is 0.
And but eventually it fades from your view. The city recedes, and you start heading due west toward Luton Haven, which is a magistracy city on the eastern coast, and it is next to a forest, and just a little short distance away from Zauberfeld.
I look at Aster and I asked him if he's gonna have any trouble with the keepers. I don't know if bardic magic counts as, magic that they care about, or...
They don't like my kind of magic. It's a little bit on the flary side. It has a lot of flair and...
Yeah, you're not trained to cast more effectively by them, so you're not going to be real popular there. You're an unlicensed arcane spellcaster.
They don't like me much.
You might want to step up the rogue aspect of yourself.
Oh, I will. I can wear my more elaborate, colorful clothes, but I have my leather black jacket
Sure.
I can put on.
Yeah. It's not obvious that you're a spellcaster. I mean, it's obvious that you're a musician, but it's not obvious that you're a spellcaster.
He doesn't have a magical musical weapon.
Yeah, that's true. He has a magical musical instrument, but yeah, it's not obvious that he's not just a musician and a rogue.
Question. So we see Arrival as we're passing by it. Paxton, I'm not asking this as Paxton. I'm asking this as like a person looking at the map. There's like an island with a tower on it that is south of Arrival.
Yeah, you can see that too.
We see that?
Yeah.
Paxton's
In the very distance.
Paxton's like focusing on it and thinks it's really weird. What does he see?
So there's a small island with a really tall tower there, and it's got a very sharp, curved, pointed spire at the top of it, and you can't make out any more than that at this distance. But it seems like a really tall tower on an island. That's it.
I asked the captain if he knows what that is.
Oh, yes. Yeah, laddie, it's, that'd be a lighthouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's important with the rocks around there, gotta stay clear.
Fair enough. On to Luton Haven then, I guess.
Looking for side quests.
I thought like a powerful wizard lived there or something.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Really?
Yeah, well, how do you think they power the lighthouse?
That's a good point. I never thought about that.
Yeah, they got the light wizards that power the lighthouses, and yeah, they keep the ships from crashing, unless they're the bad kind of wizard, in which case they encourage the ships to crash.
Do you know what kind of wizard lives there?
I never had any trouble. It must be a nice guy right now, but you never know. New person might come along and turn the light off, or move it somewhere.
That happen a lot?
I don't think it happens a lot, but it happens sometimes. No money in lighthouses,
If there's no money in lighthouses, then we don't need to go.
That's the spirit, lad.
Paxton would have made a great pirate, apparently.
If you're really interested in the gold, at some point we may give up the jellyfish farm and go back to the good old work. If you're interested.
I'll keep that in mind.
In case we ever have an alignment change.
It takes much longer to get from Arrival to Luton Haven because now you're traveling against the wind. So it's now 5 days to get there. from arrival.
And we're paddling at this
Yeah,
point?
so the crew is paddling and forcing its way against the wind.
Can I use the trip to play with Chainbreaker?
Sure. You're going to play around with Chainbreaker?
Yeah.
All right. I guess let's see, what can I tell you about Chainbreaker? All right, so it is +1.
D8.
D8 damage. It weighs 2 pounds, but you're not sure exactly what else it does. It's made out of mithril. I think I mentioned that before. Yeah, you're not sure what else it does.
I'm just trying to decide whether it's trade fodder or a new weapon to play with.
Okay.
I'll ask Mun.
Yeah, you could always get someone to identify it for you. Identify would tell you everything it does. So you arrive in Luton Haven. This is a much smaller town than Drungeldoom. This is a small port town. It's a fishing village, really, a glorified fishing village. And the port is filled with fishing ships. You arrive in the evening. People are unloading their catch for the day. The city wall does not include the port. The port sort of is a separate thing outside the city wall. The Captain Shortbeard,
Says, well, it's been good seeing you again. I'm glad we're not fighting this time. And hope you take care of yourselves. And I'm glad that we all got away just fine. Thanks for the distraction. Thanks for the help along the journey. And, if you need another trip somewhere, we're often here in Luton Haven. And also, if you need any dyes, colorful dyes, purple, deep red, I can give to you at a good price.
All right.
Thanks
Something
for the
to keep
lift.
in mind.
Thank you.
All right, then. And you want any jellyfish for the road?
I'll hold that.
I'm
Yes.
tired of jellyfish.
Understood.
So you say goodbye to the crew. Sharky is careful to keep his distance from you the whole time. You arrive in Luton Haven. I guess we can stop there.
Yeah.
Luton Haven.